What up, TikTok? I want to talk about some playoff teams. I'm probably going to make a lot more YouTube videos because the playoffs are right around the corner. The play-in tournament is right around the corner. I think the NBA regular season ends like next weekend, like next Sunday on the 13th. So I want to talk about all these teams, how I feel about them, playoff matchups, all that good stuff. I'm going to be pumping out more content on the YouTube channel. And I want to talk about the New York Knicks. It's a team I haven't covered, and they're currently the third seed out east. They are sitting at 48 and 28. And for the most part, it's been a successful season. I think this is going to be the second or third year in a row where they've been like a top four seed. The problem with the Knicks is they haven't been able to get to the conference finals since the year they made the finals in 1999. And they've had so many tough series where they lose in the second round back in 2013 with the Melo team, or 2012 with the Melo team, 2012 or 13. And then the past couple years with this Brunson-led group, losing to the Heat in 23, and then losing to the Pacers last year in 7 in the Garden. Unfortunately, injuries did them in because like the whole team fell apart throughout that series and right before the playoffs, and it was unfortunate. Right now, they invested a lot into this team because they decided that they wanted to go all in, try to supersede Boston out east, and out record wise, they're good, and they're probably gonna have more wins than they did last year. But like, it feels like I don't know. It feels like it's a bit underwhelming in terms of if you view them in the context in light of competing with Boston, and especially with how Cleveland has like skyrocket this year at the East, and how they have like 60 plus wins at this point. It really does put a damper on the Knicks season. To be fair, there have been some injuries. Currently, Jalen Brunson is out dealing with an ankle sprain, but like even when they were healthy, they kind of shat the bed when they faced like the real competition. I'm talking like the best teams in the league, specifically OKC, Cleveland, and Boston. They are like 0 and 9 or like 0 and 10 against. And they were leading at one point against this Cleveland team who has been playing pretty mid basketball by their standards. And they went from being up double digits to losing by like damn near 20. And outside of that first Cleveland game way back in October, like the fourth or fifth game of the season, they've been getting waxed by these teams. I think the combined margin of victory between Boston, Cleveland, and OKC outside of that one Cleveland game has to be like 25 to 30 points per game in which the Knicks are getting blown out by. And the Knicks offense is like elite in terms of like offensive rating. They're top five, I want to still say, but their defense, it's like 13th or 14th, but like against the elite comp, it just gets completely exposed. And it's because of like the weak points on their defense is like Brunson, despite how great he is offensively and how much he tries defensively, his size is still makes him a defensive liability from time to time. And Cat, similar to other bigs like Nikola Jokic as a Denver Nuggets fan, he has pretty poor foot speed, and as a result of that, the rim is free eats, and drop coverage is pretty much an unmitigated disaster sometimes against some of these teams. Boston can space them out, Cleveland space them out. OKC can like really rough them up and really make things tough for the Knicks, and as a result of that, they're like I said, successful regular season team, but considering how much they invested into this team, trading in for Cat, trading for Mikal Bridges, giving up all those picks for Mikal, and giving OG all that money, and then now there's like a hard ceiling, and at this point, they're gonna most likely meet Boston in the second round, and I have little to no faith that's even gonna be a competitive series. So it is interesting. I know KD rumors are sprouting up. Like that was one of the teams, or the Knicks were one of the teams interested in trying to acquire KD, but honestly, the mistake for the Knicks was giving so many picks away in the Mikal trade and thinking that would be the reason why that would put them over the top. Because I don't mind the Cat trade, and honestly, Cat has been like an NBA level player this year. Has really impressed me. Him and the Brunson connection has been really good. Like the Brunson Cat pick and roll has been pretty good. The pick and pop, obviously, Cat is one of the best shooting bigs like ever, and it's been lethal offensively. It's just like they can be had defensively, and there's no amount of backpacking that Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges can do to help them defensively. To be fair, I know Mitchell Robinson has missed some time, but I feel like, no offense to Mitch, that's been like the story of his career, and not even he can save like the deficiencies of like Cat's like rim protection. And Cat is obviously gonna have to play the heavy minutes and whatnot since they invested so much into them. And he's obviously one of the better players on the team. So I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts. What do you think of the Knicks? Do you think they can do anything in a Boston matchup? Do you think they take a game? Do you think they could take 2 games? What is the ceiling of this Knicks team? Do you think they have to make some moves? I will say though, the second apron kind of ruined this team because like Isaiah Hartenstein, I feel like if the Knicks had the money, he might have gone back, but he's on the Thunder now. He's on one of the best teams ever. It's just like the Knicks didn't have the money to keep iHeart. If they had iHeart, bro, and Cat, bro, they may actually be cooking right now. But unfortunately, they do not have an Isaiah Hartenstein. And right now, they're good, but I don't view them as a true contender. That's basically for me, man. Comment down below if you agree with me, disagree with me. Subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, follow me on Danny Nuggets on TikTok. I'll appreciate that as well. And as always, have a good one, guys. Peace.